I think the concern was that they didn't look like the same Eagles team from September to December in those last few weeks in January with the injury to Hurts and some of the different performances we saw. It was like, well, where's that spunk? Where's that spunk? Well, they look like they were as good as any version of the Eagles on Saturday night. And one of the key things to me is we saw Lane Johnson and Jalen Hurts, and they were healthy. I thought this might have been one of those Weekend at Bernie's deals where we're kind of carrying around Jalen Hurts, like, no, he's fine, he's fine, he's fine. But you're seeing him just hand the ball off, not run.
Peter, what is Weekend at Bernie's? What the hell is that? Some people might not know.
A great movie from the late 80s, early 90s, where Bernie Lomax is a boss, and he dies, and they carry him around because they need his house in the Hamptons, so they carry him around.
And they pretend he's alive.
They pretend he's alive, and they prop him up.
Just bobbing around.
Disgusting and morbid, but it's hilarious.
And it's a great Halloween costume if you want to go with your two friends. But Lane Johnson, I was worried that he wouldn't be able to walk. He's out here running and sprinting and leading lead blocks. And Jalen Hurts, we were concerned that maybe he wouldn't want to see contact or he couldn't throw because of the shoulder injury. He looked really good. To me, more than just the win and the blowout and what it meant, from a motivational standpoint and psychological standpoint, physically, the two most important pieces of that offense to me are Lane Johnson and Jalen Hurts, and they both looked right. Now, Jalen Hurts did not take a hit. He didn't get that hit where you're like, is he going to get up and be okay from that?
Sure.
Talanoa Hufanga will deliver that.
He sure will.
Okay, Nick Bosa will deliver that.
Yes.
Eric Armstead with one arm will try to deliver that. They definitely were both injured, but I think there was concerns that they were far more, it would be more visible during the game of play, and it wasn't. They were both lights out, electric, looked awesome. Lane was throwing dudes in that game. So that was my biggest concern going into this one. Are they going to be the Eagles team when they were blowing out the Titans and A.J. Brown was dancing against his former team? Or are they the Eagles team that, like, Minshew's struggling against, whoever, and we're just trying to throw out an offensive line and hoping to get by? I think they're okay. I think they're healthy. Are they as good as they've been all season? Yeah, they were on Saturday night.
Yeah, A.J. Brown in that game was given a goalpost, a spanking, kind of reminding them of, you guys let me go in that game against the Titans. And I'm going to piggyback off what you said, and I'm going to specifically talk about Jalen Hurts. He's the key. And when we talked about the way they finished the season, it was like, all right, are they going to get their quarterback who played at an MVP level? Are they going to get him back, and are they going to get him back at full strength? And watching that game against the New York Giants, it wasn't the fact that they beat the brakes off the Giants that was impressive. It was Jalen Hurts. There were designed runs for him. You see right here, he's lowering his shoulder. He's not going down. He's not sliding. He's not afraid of contact. And then you see right here, Xavier McKinney comes on a blitz, and he sacks him. And he's hitting his arm as he's going to throw the ball. And you would think after this, maybe Jalen Hurts doesn't run the ball. This is a 3rd and 2 later on in the game to try to continue to put it away, where he's running the ball and he's not going down. And for me watching, that was the thing that I wanted to see specifically for him. Was Sirianni going to be calling those design quarterback runs? Earlier in the game, he called them, and Jalen Hurts slid. And it's like, all right, well, is he sliding because of his shoulder, or is there just too many defenders around him? And we saw as that game went on, he looked more and more comfortable with design runs. And the coaching staff, they felt comfortable to call those plays and dial them up. And that has been a huge part of the Philadelphia Eagles running game. And both running backs, Miles Sanders and Gainwell, both had really good games. And a lot of that is because the threat of Jalen Hurts to run the ball when he's putting it in their chest. So to me, they definitely look back to form. They were rolling on all cylinders. The defense has been there all season.
I think look forward to next season and look at December when your teams are coming down the stretch and jockeying for position. The sweet nectar of the bye week is so powerful. And I'm coming back from Buffalo. Do you know how badly the Bills needed that bye week that they did not get? I think we would have seen a different team in that round. Meanwhile, Chiefs come through, cruise. Eagles come through, just destroy. I think that was massive for Hurts, not only to heal, but all the stuff Peter's talking about. They had some kind of weird juju going on. They were sloppy. It was just kind of messy. Control alt delete a couple weeks and just wreck the Giants. The only doubt was, oh my gosh, he's kind of favoring that shoulder. Now we got something. It's kind of like with the Niners. Wow, Purdy finally did look a little wide-eyed. No, neither of those things happened. And I just think, like, in terms of doubt across this whole field here, I don't see any doubt anywhere. I mean, I know we're going to talk about Mahomes' ankle, and we'll see. But Peter said this yesterday. 3 of these 4 teams were in this round last year. All 4 teams have been in the Super Bowl in the last 6 years as organizations. Like, this is Kentucky, Duke, Kansas, UCLA. There's no George Mason. There's no VCU. These are all 1 seeds. They're all loaded. I also, I just think they're all very likable teams. Like, I think these teams are all cool. They all have swagger. They all have confidence. And there was going to be a big record scratch stretch if the Eagles eked out a 17-16 win over the Giants and Jalen Hurts looks messed up. He didn't. Designed runs, not just protecting him either. I don't have any doubt at all. I think the only doubt in the whole field is maybe Mahomes' ankle, which we'll get into. But the Eagles look like they're ready to roll. They do.
Now you're speaking my language. I always contend when it comes to the Final Four in any sport that I love a Cinderella story until it comes down to the Final Four teams. Like I want the best teams. I like a good story.
I agree.
I love it. But then I want the best teams. I think
Florida
that's what
Gulf
we got.
Coast, great.
Like, Giants. It was great to talk about you all last week.
City.
Jaguars.
Yeah,
But
it's awesome.
Right, we're good here. I love it.
Poof.
You know, there is a comfort and a confidence that I find fantastic about Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni, and I have this sense. I have a theory.
All right, let's go.
Early to mid-December, Eagles are coming down the stretch. They could attain the 1 seed. It took them until the final week of the regular season to do so, but I almost get a sense Jalen Hurts gets hurt. And they're like, you know what? We're good here. If you get us to January, if we get ourselves to January, and God willing, we lock up a 1 seed, we don't have to really show anybody nothing down the stretch in late December. What does it matter? I know we were all obsessed with that December 24th game against Cowboys.
Yeah.
Eagles didn't really care. They're like, let's put Gardner Minshew out there. It'll be fine. They could have, the way they played, everyone else was freaking out about it. Honestly, I don't think they were that concerned. Gardner Minshew changed the identity of that team, and I think it was an understood thing in the locker room within Philadelphia that, like, listen, we're not going to look the same. Everyone else is going to freak out about this. We don't have to. There is still a way, and they executed that way to attain the 1 seed, and they did that in that final regular season game against the Giants. Here's what you're looking at this season when Jalen Hurts was down versus when he was in the lineup. I think Nick Sirianni knew all along. I think he coaches guys up all along to say, all we need is for this guy to be good by January 10th, and this is what we're going to get back to. And to hell with anybody who's going to question us along the way. And frankly, we were kind of uncomfortable last week when we used the word juggernaut with the Kansas City Chiefs. Like, why didn't we do that with the Eagles? Is it really just because of the 2 to 3 weeks we saw from them in December?
Yes.
I think it's kind of unfair because now that is a word that I want to apply to this team at this point. 15-1 with him.
But is there any team in the Final Four that's not a juggernaut?
Yeah, that's
Right.
true.
It's like the Niners haven't lost, I think, since September or something crazy like that. They're on these winning streaks. Like, this is a battle of juggernauts. It's incredible.
It's fantastic.
No doubt about it.